So today our video is going to look at pie charts. As you can see from this thing here, to be able to draw a pie chart you need a protractor and a calculator. So I'm going to assume that for this video you have those two things. If you don't have either of those two things, I know there's still some places you can order them online, so you need to obviously look into that. If this is something that you can't do today because you don't have this equipment, or you can't borrow it if you have siblings or from your someone else in your family, then obviously you'll have to come back to this at a time when you do have it, because I'm going to show you how to do it, and obviously if you don't have a protractor you won't be able to do it. So that said, let's move straight into what we're going to do today and how you're going to do a pie chart. So we're just going to run through a quick example, and then you're going to have a little practice on your own at some hand-drawn pie charts. So here's an example of a finished product, and I'm going to break down each step for you in a minute. So you can see that you have your data at the top. We've got this frequency, which is something we've talked about before. Frequency being how many times something happens. You can see that we have a frequency table. We've talked about these when we did the bar charts. And then we have this bit here, which is what I'm going to show you how to do today, which is how to calculate the angles, and then finally how to finish up with a pie chart that looks like this. The colors are up to you. So how is that going to be broken down? Well, let's look at an example. Here is a table showing some information about pupils, and I think we talked about this before when we were talking about choosing averages. So here we have some data where we're looking at how people got to school. We've got walk, cycle, car, or bus. And we've got 30 people. I've done a little tally chart, and we've got our frequency. So 9 people walked, 3 people took the bike, 6 people got in a car, and 12 people took a bus. Okay. So we want to convert this into a pie chart. And obviously if we were going to do a bar chart, we hopefully have looked at the previous video, and we know that that would be 4 bars with gaps in between of different heights. But a pie chart is different. Now, a bar chart shows the absolute values. It shows the higher the bar, the more people, but it doesn't directly compare to the total. A pie chart is different because it says, you know, the bigger the slice, the more of the total that it is. It doesn't necessarily mean it's more people, it means it's a larger share. Okay, think about a cake. The bigger the slice, the more of the total cake that you're sharing. So we know how many, but we need to know how big to draw each slice. We know the whole pie, so that's our whole circle. Yeah, it's going to be 360 degrees. So we need to decide how much of that 360 degrees that we're going to split up for each method of transport. It's not going to be 4 even slices, it's going to be some slices bigger than others. So the first thing we need to do is we need to say, okay, we've got 30 people. If we just divided that 360 degree pie up into 30 slices, where everyone gets the same size slice. So all of those 30 people get 360 degrees split evenly. Well, we would say, before that, first of all, we're going to add on our extra column onto the table. So eventually we're going to work out the angles and we're going to calculate it. That's going to be our working out. But to do that, like I said, we need to split up our pie chart into 30 equal slices. If you think about it, 360 degrees, there's our pie chart. Okay, we split that into 30 slices. Each slice is going to be 12 degrees, and we'd have 30 of those slices. So that would be 12 degrees, and we'd have 30 slices. So now we know that walking, 9 people get a slice. 9 people, 12 degrees for every person. So we can say we've got 9 people, and each person gets one 12-degree slice. So you have, you know, keep going, and you keep doing slices. Obviously you'd measure them, and you'd have 9 slices. We do 9 times 12, we do that on our calculator. If you remember I said that at the beginning. You do 9 times 12, and that would be in total 108 degrees. 9 people, 12 degrees per person. Biking is less. There's only 3 people, but there's still 12 degrees for every person. And 3 times 12 is 36 degrees. The bus, you've got, again, this 12 degrees per person. So every time it's 12 degrees, you've got 6 people at 12 degrees each. I'm going to colour code it. You know how much I like colour coding. That would be 72 degrees each. And finally, 12 people at 12 degrees each. I want to color code it because I like to have different colors because, why not? 12 people, 12 degrees each, 144 degrees. So now I know how big each slice is going to be. I know that I've got 30 people altogether. If I've done this correctly, I should be able to add up all of my slices, and the total should be 360 degrees. I need to divide the whole pie. I can't just have any left that I haven't given out. So by checking that on the calculator, when you add them all together, I get 360 degrees. There are 30 people and they're 12 degrees each. So now we know how big each slice is going to be. We worked out the most important thing, which is the degrees per person. And it doesn't always have to be people, it could be degrees per anything. But you just need to know for one, what is one worth? It's one person, one unit, one this, one that. But one is worth how many degrees? And now we know that, we can work out each slice by multiplying the 1, so like 12 degrees in this case. We multiply it by how many? So we took this number here, you can see it's the same there, and it's the 12 degrees every time. And now we know how big each slice is going to be. Now, I would recommend, and I'm going to attach to the end of this video, there's a really, really good My iMaths lesson about how to use your protractor to calculate the different angles. And I'm going to add that to the end of this video. So I'm going to show you an example in a second, but at the end of the video, if you keep watching, there is going to be a little video showing you how to use your protractor. So if you're not sure about that, just wait until the end of the video. So you should have something that looks like this when you tidy it up, and then we need to put these angles onto our pie chart. Now, a pie chart, of course, is a circle, so the first thing you need to do is you need to draw your circle. If you're not sure how to do this without a compass, that's the pointy one, okay, you can do it with your protractor. Just think of it like this. A circle is like two, oh, that went badly, two, oh, still going badly. You get the idea. You do one circle like this, and then another circle underneath. If you do that, it will hopefully look much better than mine. It will make a nice circle. Yeah, so two semicircles like so. Okay, so protractor up, protractor down, there's your circle. Now, here is the 4 stages you would do to draw your protractor. Sorry, to draw your circle. First thing you do is you have to draw a circle. You mark the center. This is very important, okay? On your protractor, you'll have a little thing that looks like this. Yeah, a little right in the middle. Okay, and that point there should be where you mark the middle of the circle. If you mark the center before you start, it makes it easier. You then draw a line straight up with a ruler to the top. And that represents 0 degrees, your starting point. Think of it like a clock. Okay, a clock starts there and it goes round until it gets back to the beginning. And we do the same thing with our measurements. We go round the clock until we get back to the beginning. Now our first angle was 108 degrees. So we place the protractor on top of this circle, 0 degrees at the top, and your protractor is going to look something like this. It's going to go on here so that the middle point with all the little marks looks like that. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to show you this much more clearly on the end of this video. So you put it on like this, you find 108 degrees, which will be over here somewhere, and then you make a little mark at the edge of the circle. And when you do that, it will look something like this. So you measure it, and you can see if we were to draw a little straight line from here to that point there, it's 108 degrees, and that's our warp slice. Now the important thing to remember is when you think about checking a clock, once it goes round this way, it can't suddenly go backwards, it can't go left, it has to keep going all the way round until it gets back to the beginning. Okay, our protractor is the same thing. We've gone to here, really messing up today, isn't it? We've gone to here, but the protractor can't just go back to the beginning. It has to keep going around in the same direction. So, We get to this point here, we've just drawn this circle, okay, and we would put our protractor back on to the middle of the circle. But it will go like this, okay? It goes so that 0 is on this line, okay? So 0 will be here, and we're going to go round this way. And you can see we're going to go 36 degrees around. We've made our little mark here, and then we would draw a nice straight line to make our second slice. And then we'd get rid of the protractor, because we don't need it anymore. And we'd have a slice that looks something like that, without a big gap, of course. Like I said, keep going to the end. If you're still confused by this, there is a better example than this one. So you keep doing this, going round and round the circle. So we went the first slice, and the second slice, and the third slice, and back to the beginning. It's one whole circle round. And once you've done this, you should end up with something that looks like this. It was a bit blurry, I'm not sure why, but we'll just deal with that. So you can see we did 108 first, we went round to 108, then 36 more, then 72 degrees more, and then 144 degrees. Now, if you were to measure what we've done here, when we went 108 degrees, we've then, like I said, gone 36 degrees more. So altogether, if you included both of those, it would be 108 plus 36. It would be 144 degrees. It would be this bit here. Okay, so it's 108 plus 36. And obviously that keeps happening all the way round. If we were to go from here all the way around to here, it would be 108 plus 36 plus 72. We keep adding on more as we turn around. And we end up, like I said, with something nice and neat that looks like this, and hopefully yours won't be blurry. So before I give you a more in-depth look at the protractor, let's just recap what we've done so far. Okay, we start at the beginning with our data. We know we're going to have a 360-degree circle divided by the total. We add 2 extra columns, so we've got space to work out the angles. That's the most important thing. We work out how many degrees per person. That's this here. Okay, and then we fill in our calculations using the same number every time. Once we've got our angles, so we end up with something like this, we can put them into a pie chart. You can draw that by doing 2 half circles joined together. Then we measure them one at a time. Make sure you start with 0 degrees at the top. Go all the way around, turning clockwise to the right, just like the minute hand of a clock, or the hour hand. And you build it up one slice at a time, adding them on as you go along. So you do the first slice, then you add on another 36, you add on, or whatever slice size you have, till you get back to the beginning. Okay? And you end up with something like this. And you label each slice so you know what it represents. You don't have to label the angles, that's okay, but you do need to show that this is the walk, this is the bike, this is the car, this is the bus. So if after this you're thinking, yeah, I'm pretty okay with that, I think I'm ready to try, then obviously please go back to the Teamy post and look at the activities for today. If you would like me to show you the My iMaths thing, to show you a bit more about the protractor, then please do stay tuned. Have a look at the My iMaths thing now then, for those of you who want to do this. If you just go to myimaths.com, click login, use your school username and password. If you can't remember yours, there is that Google document we made in the first lesson of the year with all your usernames and passwords. Please do refer to that. Data, presenting data, and then you go to the lesson. When you click on the lesson, it opens up a new tab like so, and you can see that there is a nice walkthrough here, which I'm just going to quickly show you about how to use your protractor effectively. So the numbers on the side show you how to do this. So we've done working out the degrees per person, so that's what we did. Obviously 360 degrees divided by 24, that would be 15. And 3 people, 3 times 15 would be 45. So this is like a little walkthrough that you can do. Okay, when you go, obviously this will give you that. the last one here, if we just go to number 3, if you use this little tab on the side, you can scroll down and we can see the steps. So work out like we did in the thing, 15 degrees per person times the frequency. Now we know the angle. And now we can have a little look at the animation it shows you. This one does the line horizontally, but it's basically the same idea. So first thing we can do, again, see how I'm using the ruler, middle to the top. We've just kind of, they've rotated like this, but it's the same thing as that 0 degrees. Okay, notice the protractor. Okay, it's this middle bit that goes in the middle. It's like that line there, 0 degrees, notice, is on the line. Now they're going anti-clockwise, and it doesn't really matter which way you turn, as long as you always turn in the same direction. You can't go this way sometimes and then that way other times. Okay, it's either all to the left or all to the right, but don't mix and match. So this example is showing you turning anti-clockwise to the left, but it is the same thing in the opposite direction. So you can see they put 0 on the line, little pointy bit right in the middle. They wanted to do 45 degrees, so they did 45, and they're making a little mark at the corner. Make a little mark, and then draw that first slice. So that slice there is the first one, Liverpool. And then notice, this is the important bit, okay, turn your protractor around so that the 0 now we can see has moved to the line we just made. Okay, so notice it's rotated. We've rotated that way. Again, same thing, we're going to do 105 degrees, so we go to 105, which is over here, and then we make the little mark at 105, draw the line, that's our Birmingham City. Protractor turns again, and draw the line, keeps turning. Now they've turned the other way, I don't like that, but you get the idea, it's 30 degrees further, they should have turned left, that was a bit naughty of them. And then the remaining slice is the last one. So, like I said, you can go through, this is available to you on My iMaths, so obviously I went through that very quickly. If you want to see that a bit slowly and do it step by step, then please do go to the My iMaths lesson. It's called Pie Charts, surprisingly, and drawing a pie chart. I will put a link to My iMaths again in the Teamy post, so make sure that you use the login from your Google document that we made at the start of the year to log into this, and then go to data, presenting data, lesson, and that will bring this up here. Okay, you don't need to do the online homework. You're obviously more than welcome to if you want to, but you do, if you are still struggling, I would really recommend this because it's interactive and you can play it back at your own speed, and hopefully it will show you what you need to do. Okay, so that's pie chart in a nutshell. Hopefully you will be able to have a go at some of these. I've got 5 for you to try, a couple for you to read, a couple for you to draw. Remember, the most important thing to remember, whether you're reading a pie chart or whether you're drawing a pie chart, the most important thing, I cannot stress this enough, is working out how many degrees per person. Here, 24 people were asked for their favourite football team. It's each person is worth 15 degrees. Okay, that is the most important thing. Once you know that information, you can use that to answer every single part of a pie chart question, whether it's reading or writing a pie chart yourself. Okay, so have a go at these, and as always, I'll be on the Google Meet if you need any further help.